Hey guys, it's Norm from Tested. I'm here with Christian, who is actually a tested reader and has generously invited us to check out his new baby that we were standing in front of. It's a Tesla, an all-electric car. Wow, you're one of the very few Tesla Model S owners in the world. This car, which is now shipping, they're making them in California, in Fremont, and the Model S, it's a sedan. There's four doors. It's priced, the starting price, $57,000 for the base model, is relatively affordable. But you went for the Signature Edition.
I did go for the Signature Edition. They only made 1,000 of these. It's the 300-mile range version, which is the max range on these. Real world isn't exactly 300 miles, but that's how they rate it. It's an 85 kilowatt-hour battery, fully electric.
And it's completely different. No transmission.
No transmission. The only moving parts are an electric motor and a static gearbox that they tell me I need to change the oil in every 15 years.
Wow, okay, every 15, that's not bad.
Not
Not every 500 miles.
Not every 500 miles or everything, so it's no oil changes apart from that.
So this isn't your typical electric car, and obviously you're a little biased as a Tesla owner.
It's true.
But it's not like your Chevy Volts, your Nissan Leafs, and there are a couple high-tech features I want to call out about the Model S. Let's go check them out.
Yeah, let's go take a look.
All right, Christian, one of the coolest things has got to be the key, because it's not just your regular key fob. You walk up to a Toyota, you can click it. This key is a miniature Tesla Model S.
That's right, and in fact, to open the front trunk, which we'll get to later, you tap on the front of the car. To open the trunk, you tap on the back of the car. And to unlock the car, you double tap the top and the handles come out.
Oh my God, look at that. That is insane. The handles just pop out.
That's right, they come out of the car, you lock the car, they go back in. It's all about aerodynamics with this car. This car is one of the most aerodynamic cars on the road. You've got the flat battery pack on the bottom, which allows a smooth wind profile. It has no grill or air intake in the front to slow it down, so it's very, very smooth and very aerodynamic. And that goes to the door handles.
So the door handles, if you have your key in the pocket, you can walk up and just press it, and door handles pop out. Now, some people have said it's a little difficult to manipulate. You find that's the case?
Occasionally I've had it where if I've just locked the car and then I unlock the car, I have to actually double pump the key to get it to properly unlock. But all you have to do is pull on the door. It's a little counterintuitive because you just give it a little tug and it comes out. People expect that the sensor to make the door open for you or something, but you actually have to, you apply a little bit of pressure and the door comes out.
And then once you close it, if you lock the car, then...
if you lock the car, you walk away from it, close the door handles will recess by themselves.
Recess. Innovative, there it goes. Innovative door handles.
Yeah.
All right, Christian, standard trunk, it's a hatchback, isn't it?
It's a hatchback, you open it up with the handle here. You can also open it up with the key, as I showed. It's got lots of space.
That is a lot of space.
Yeah.
So seats 5 normally, but you can also pay more and get a third row seat. We saw this at CES.
That's right. There are two jump kid seats you can have attached to the frame back here that are rear facing, so like those old station wagons. But that's something you have to have done at the factory. It's not something you can buy later, so this car will never have that.
All right, and underneath here is actually the motor. It's in the back.
It's in the back. It's in line with the back tires. It means you don't have a differential taking up leg room for the middle passenger in the rear. It also means very few moving parts because you don't need a drivetrain or anything like that. There's just a single gearbox, as I mentioned, and the two motor, the motor and the battery.
It's rear-wheel drive? It's
all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
All rear-wheel drive.
All right, so the motor is underneath the trunk. So what's underneath the hood?
Let's go take a look. So, double pump the frunk, and...
It's called the frunk because it's also a trunk. More storage. It's amazing. It's like someone took the engine out and left storage space here.
Twice so far, while putting something in here, I've had people ask me if I had road trouble.
When they were demoing this frunk, they actually put a person inside.
Elon was driving on the stage, and then they opened this, and a man got out.
Wow, can fit someone in here. All right, Christian, we talked a little bit about differences between this car and a normal gas-powered car. No intake grill, no exhaust, crazy. It smells nice. And also, there's no port for gas, so how do you charge this?
Well, every Tesla charging cable comes with this little button on the top of it. You push it, and the hidden panel opens.
Wow, hidden right in the rear lights.
Yes.
And we should also point out that we are currently at a supercharging station for Tesla.
Yeah, one of 6 in California. Charges at a rate of 300 miles of charge per hour.
Okay.
They built 6 in California, up and down the length of it, so that you can go from here to LA, from LA to Las Vegas, or from here to Reno.
So you can actually make that 350-mile trip or something from here in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And charge it, stop in and out or something. And
Exactly. They spaced them 150 miles apart, so you should only need to charge for about half an hour. And then you get back in your car and go.
All right, and because you have the full 300-mile battery, it's only going to take an hour to max charge that.
Yeah,
right?
if we were completely dry, it would only take about an hour to charge it.
Looks cool. There's LED lights and everything. Does that change color when it's full?
It does change color. We'll plug it in now, and it will turn green when it starts charging. Locks in place and starts pulsing green.
Right, and they also have included cables in case you don't have a supercharger access at home. You can plug in even to a regular wall outlet.
Yeah, you can plug it in like a laptop into a 3-prong. It's only at 4 miles an hour, but you can charge.
And they also have a 220 adapter, like where you plug in a washing machine into. And what's the rate for that charge?
That's about 40 miles an hour.
40 miles an hour. Okay.
They're going to have a charge station for people's homes that isn't yet UL certified that will do 62 miles an hour. It's at 80 amps.
But you have to have that installed in your home.
Yeah.
Do you treat this then like you do like an iPhone, a smartphone, where you're constantly wanting to top it off, or do you treat it like a gas car where you go once a week when you're low on mileage?
I treat it much more like a laptop because the battery is designed such that cells that aren't fully discharged won't be charged back up again. And the cells that you're driving on today aren't the cells you drove on yesterday, because there are a bunch of cell packs, I think several thousand.
Right.
So it's in order to increase the longevity of the battery.
So that's a really important difference for an innovation for this car, is that it's not one big battery. It's thousands of small batteries, and the car is smart enough to know how to charge them, how to discharge them, so you're not going to kill those batteries over a lifespan.
That's right.
And what do you do when the battery, like after 10 years, when you have to replace a battery? Is there a plan to replace that?
Yeah, there is. The battery can be removed from the car. It's built into a sled that is all along the base of the car, which also adds to its low center of gravity. Since everything from the floorboards up is storage, the battery and the motor are all in line on the bottom, so that you can just remove that battery and place in a new one. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to cost, and I hope the price comes down over the next 10 years before I need it. This Signature Series comes with an 8-year unlimited mile warranty, which is a really nice peace of mind for this investment.
Yeah, drive it as much as you want. And then hopefully the battery technology will get better, it'll be cheaper, and maybe even more miles.
Maybe even more miles, yeah.
Wow. Okay, we've done enough talking about the car. Let's go drive the car.
All right.
All right, Christian, we're in your Model S, and let's hit the freeway.
All right.
All right. Whoa! Holy crap. And this car does 0 to 60 in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's 5.6.
Right, because there's an electric motor, it's basically infinite torque. It just
as soon
goes
as you
on.
put the gas pedal down, it goes. Yeah, this is the most performance I've ever had in a car.
Oh my goodness, and you upgraded from a Prius. So
yeah, which is a big step up.
A different type of electric vehicle.
Yes.
All right, so the big question that we all have, of course, is the range, because we don't know like how much battery life this car has. And so you have the Signature Edition, which is Tesla rated for about 300 miles. You've owned this car now for a bit, and you said you've made trips to Napa, for example.
Yeah.
What is your experience with the range of the car?
So it will easily go 200 miles an hour, or 200 miles
per
charge with no problem. So even if you're not watching your energy usage or anything like that, you'll get 200 miles out of it really easily. You can get 260, 265 if you drive at a reasonable speed, and
that's what the EPA rates it at.
That's what the EPA rates it at, yeah. And if you use a nice steady pressure on the pedal and you keep it at a constant speed, it really reduces the amount of energy that it uses. The car has something called regenerative braking, which a lot of people who have Priuses and other electric vehicles are familiar with.
Yeah.
But it's very aggressive in this car. So when you let off the gas pedal, it feels like you're braking. In fact, the brake lights come on. So I will just release my foot off the gas pedal without applying any brake.
And wow, we went from 60 to now we're at 50.
Yes.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Wow, there's no, because there's no gas going in. When I'm driving a gas car and I let go, there's momentum.
Yes. In this car, we're changing that momentum into electricity immediately.
Yeah.
Which is really good for reclaiming energy, but when you're on the freeway on a long trip, if you have a tendency to fluctuate in your speed, you're going to get a lot less range.
So the way you actually put your foot on the pedal and maintain high speeds of 60, 70 miles per hour is different on this car than even a regular sports car.
Yeah, it takes a little getting used to, and if you really want good mileage when you're first starting out, definitely use cruise control until you get a feel for how to range it.
You mentioned the regenerative braking, and there are actually two modes of regenerative braking in Tesla. There's the standard, and there's also the low right here. And we were on standard, which was pretty aggressive, but even on the low we tried earlier, it still kind of feels like you're hitting the brakes, even though you're not touching the brakes at all.
Yeah, the slowdown is considerably less, but it is still there.
All right.
It will still affect your...
And some other thing here on the control, there's a thing called creep, and you have creep off right now. What is that?
So in a standard gas-powered car, when you let off the brake pedal, it will start moving forward very slowly.
Yeah, that's how you inch forward at a red light.
Exactly. This car doesn't do that by default. There is a software update now where it will fake it. So if I turned that on when I was at a stop, let off the gas pedal, it would move. The way I've got it set now is much more like a manual transmission in neutral. You're just kind of sitting there until you push on the gas pedal. I'd gotten used to driving it that way before the firmware update came, and I've just kind of kept it. No real reason.
And then we'll cover our bases here. Steering mode, you're in comfort, so it's very easy to move the wheel around.
Yeah,
steering wheel.
Very easy, loose, steering, very loose steering. You can go all the way to sport, and you guys really won't feel it, but the steering wheel is now a lot tighter. Smaller motions make it move a lot more. And then standard just splits the difference.
Right. And also, you mentioned earlier, because the battery is so heavy, has a really low center of gravity. So when you're making turns, you really feel it.
Yes, yeah, you can make a turn at a very good clip. I'm not a very aggressive driver, but I've definitely taken turns a lot faster than I would in any other car, and you can really feel it hug the road.
And it's pretty close to the ground. The suspension's pretty low.
It's very low.
But you can adjust that as well.
Yeah, when you're on the freeway, it's always in low, as you can see from this display. But when we're driving slow or on surface streets, it automatically moves up to standard so that you get a little bit better traction. You don't feel the bumps as much. If you're going over something that's really rough or a really big speed bump, you can go up to very high or high, and those will raise the car up a decent amount, several inches, allow you to park over a higher stanchion or go over a really big speed bump without having to worry about it. And the car will auto move down based on speed. So very high is 10 miles an hour and lower, high is 20 miles an hour and lower, standard is your surface streets like 40 miles, and then low is when you're on the freeway.
That makes sense. And you're not really going to be driving this car on gravel roads.
No.
So the example you give is parking. So the parking bumpers, you don't want to bump your rear bumper into that. So you raise your car up and then back up 10 miles an hour.
Exactly. You don't get the scrape of the skirt like you do in other cars.
But really, this car, max speed, it's 133 miles per hour.
I believe that's the performance. I think this one's 125 miles an hour, which is still pretty good.
It can hit 80, no problem.
No problem.
And you definitely feel that acceleration.
Yeah, it's a linear acceleration, so you feel it from the second you put the foot down until you let go.
So of course, the car's got to have GPS. There's a big screen here, which we'll get to in a little bit. And the GPS, interestingly, is powered by Google Maps. Yeah. Right? So you can actually use this and program destinations and search it. Use a search engine.
Use a search engine, yeah.
And find names of places and just hit it and it'll give you directions, right?
Yep, navigate too.
Wow, all right. And so it's actually being pulled in from Google. And there's no compass in here, so actually it will always point up is north.
That's right. This map is always oriented north-south.
All right, and I can zoom in and zoom out, and this is all being streamed in real time over cellular.
Over cellular, yeah. It's also got pinch to zoom.
Oh, very nice. Not vector-based.
Not vector-based,
Not vector-based graphics. And not only is there a GPS on the dash here, this center console, but also on the dash behind the steering wheel.
Yeah, since we've got so many LCDs here, they were smart about allowing these to be programmable on either side of the speedometer. So when you put in a route, it automatically fills in this second section on the other side of the speedometer with turn-by-turn instructions. So it gives me the oriented map. So this is oriented where we actually happen to be traveling north at this time. So this is also north-south oriented, but as you can see, we're going west a bit. So this changes based on which turns I have coming up, and it allows me to just glance down where I'd be looking anywhere for my speed to tell what's coming up.
All right. Well, how many people have you let drive this car?
Only my wife and I have driven this car so far.
Christian, would you let me drive your Tesla Model S?
I will if your insurance up to date.
My insurance is, thankfully, up to date.
All right.
All right, Christian, I'm behind the steering wheel of your baby, the Tesla Model S. The car's off right now. In a lot of modern cars, you press a power button.
Yeah.
With electric batteries, but there is no power button here. How do I turn on the car?
Well, you got the first part, which is just sitting in the driver's seat. The second part is you put your foot on the brake.
The brake, right in the middle?
Yep. It flips over, now the car's ready to drive.
That's it?
That's it, it's on.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, there's no
it's an electric car.
noise. Yeah.
Wow, so the car is ready to drive. If I hit the accelerator, it's going to go.
Well, as soon as you put it in drive, that is.
I got to put it in drive.
Park. Yeah.
And it's, no center column.
No center, it's all right there.
Okay. And
you push it all the way down to go to drive. There you go.
I'm on drive, and we can go.
We can go.
So
there's no creep, so it's all gas pedal.
All right, so if I let go right now,
we're not doing anything.
Not going forward?
Yeah. But put your foot back on the brake, we'll turn on creep, and we'll check out what that's like. Oh, I guess we have to put it in park. We're going to turn creep on. Yeah. Drive.
All right. And it moves forward. A little more use of this. Yeah. Let's leave the creep on.
All right.
The stoplights. Hey, it's like driving a regular car.
It's like driving a regular car.
Pretty nice. If I let go of the accelerator, wow, that really...
You really feel it, especially as the driver, you can really...
Yeah. All right. And I feel like if I ever want to touch the panel, I'm letting go of the gas. And
it's a different way of thinking, yeah. So, but it really saves the brake pads as well, because when you're coming to a stop at a stoplight, you just let your foot off the gas. You rarely need to actually apply a pressure to the brake.
Same thing with turns. So I just did a turn right there. Instead of going for the brake, which I normally do for a turn, I let go, and it kind of stopped and it let me slow down into a turn.
Yeah.
Very nice. Did you have to get used to, glancing at the center console?
Yeah, I find it not too much more distracting than a standard console. The hit targets on all of these are really big, so it's real easy to, even by memory, remember where a lot of the common things are. A lot of these, like the energy usage panel, if you just tap anywhere in here, it switches between what type of energy profile is showing you, whether it's the 5 mile, the 15 mile, or the 30 mile. It's all kind of designed to be distraction free. So it's not any more distracting than my Prius.
What is your ideal configuration?
My ideal configuration is I like my energy profile at the top, and I like navigation at the bottom. Oh, let's do a little swipe there. And that's it.
There you go.
There's creep.
All right, so in terms of fit and finish, there's some other basic standard car features like sunroof.
Yeah, we've got this all glass pano roof, so the entire roof is glass, but the front part opens up. And to open it up, of course, you use the touch panel. You grab the roof and you drag it where you want it. And it opens.
That is a very cool sound.
Yeah, the unlatch mechanism unlatches pretty good.
And it'll actually let you know at which point that you're going to actually get drag.
That's right, yeah. If you go to the little line here, that's as far as you can go, the 80% mark. You go any further and it's going to start making noise.
All right, Christian, that was great. It drove like a normal car, like my regular gas car.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the whole point.
That's the whole point.
Right? It's a little quieter, and the regenerative braking part, a little difference. And parking it, I just press this button here.
Press the button.
And it goes in the park, and the car's off.
That's right.
If I can let my foot off.
You can let your foot off the brake.
There it goes.
There it goes. It engages the power, the
e-brake, and there's no physical button for e-brake or anything.
Nope.
All right, so now is actually a good time to talk about the big tech elephant in the room, because this is what I really care about. The 17-inch touch panel. And we were using it a little bit earlier for the GPS and stuff. And what is your experience? Capacitive touch panel.
It's a capacitive touch panel, yeah. It's really nice. As you can see in my garage where there's not a lot of light, it is changed to night mode, which it'll do automatically based on an ambient light sensor. That way you don't get a lot of light in here when you're driving in the night and it'd be distracting.
I did notice outside it was a little bit glary, with direct sunlight on it.
Yeah.
You could see reflections, and obviously it smudges a little bit.
It does smudge a little, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can change the day and light settings on your own and how bright each panel is.
But really the big things are the 6 icons at the top.
That's right. Those are the primary functions. And all of these touch targets are really big, really nice for driving. Media, you've got radio, internet radio, devices like Bluetooth connected to your iPhone or Android device, favorites, and recently played. We've seen the navigation. Energy, this shows the current energy usage. This is over the last 15 miles. If you tap it, you can see 30 miles. And if you tap it, you can see 5 miles. Here's obviously where we're slowing down a lot. We got a lot of regenerative braking, got a little bit of positive battery, energy into the battery. Web browser, standard web browser. Here's
Wait.
Twitter.
There's a web browser on the center console, and you can just browse the web. Maybe not while you're driving, but someone else on the passenger seat can browse the web.
Someone else can browse the web. You're looking up something. It's a little bit less performance than you'd expect from a tablet. I think it's because the car is doing so many other things and the browser isn't the priority. But it's functional, and it's on a 3G connection. There's no video codecs, no flash, no HTML5 video. It's strictly static images and text.
And you said there's a 3G connection. We think it's AT&T.
Yeah, I believe it's AT&T. That's correct.
And you get a full year of free cellular connection.
Yeah, they're providing a full year of cellular connection to Signature owners. After that, there's offline maps, which I said will be available eventually. It's got Wi-Fi built in so that when you need service updates, if you don't have a 3G connection, you can join your home Wi-Fi network.
And that's built into the mirrors.
It's built into the side mirrors. It also can work in reverse, where you can share your 3G connection with your devices, like your laptop.
So the car is a hotspot.
The car is a hotspot.
Really, really expensive hotspot.
Really expensive hotspot, yeah.
That's very cool, though. And with the media, you can plug in USB or do Bluetooth, of course.
Yeah, there are 2 USB ports here.
And then the phone, you can just make phone calls like a normal
make and
car
receive phone calls, exactly, yeah. You can even control Siri from the car.
And then 2 panels here. You can swap them.
Yes.
Press this button right
Press
here.
that button right there, you swap.
All right, or make it full screen.
Or make it full screen.
And of course, your standard climate control on the bottom. And this looks a little tightly packed, this UI. Did you find any problems using this?
I think they must be doing something with the touch targets because they've been really nice. They look a little cramped, but I can hit any of these at a glance or even from muscle memory at this point. I can just kind of tap up and down on the temperature control. Temperature control can also be controlled from the steering wheel.
Got it. And you got feedback on this dash
exactly.
LCD as well.
Yeah.
So no big concerns.
I was worried about it, but it's been just like any other console on my car.
Now you mentioned firmware updates. This is new to everyone. That You're going to need to update your car, either for Wi-Fi or cellular.
Yeah. While I've had this car, there've been 3 updates. One of which adding creep, as I mentioned. What happens is you get an alert on the screen that says there's a firmware update. When do you want to schedule the update? And it comes with a little timer, and you can say like 2 a.m. or ask me later. And then a little clock appears up here, and you can tap that to adjust those settings.
All right, Christian. So no buyer's remorse.
Absolutely no buyer's remorse. This is an amazing vehicle.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing your experience with us. This is something that you don't get just from reading the brochure.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
And congratulations. This is now you've made me incredibly jealous. The thing I want most in the world. I will reluctantly give you your awesome key back.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your Tesla.
Thank you.
And I'm Norm. I'll see you guys next time.